It's time for another army review from the Armies of the Lord of the Rings. Hello and welcome to yet another video here on the YouTube channel SCF Wargaming Studio. My name is Andreas Norwegian Viking and this is my review from the Armies of the Lord of the Rings. It's the Fiefdoms. So I will do a review of what changed, what has happened with this army, which wasn't particularly competitive. It was more of a glass cannon army. I know people have taken it successfully to events and tournaments and stuff like that, but it's not the most common to see. Also because most of the models have been out of production for quite some time. It has been hard to get hold of them, but with the impending release of the public release, they have been available at conventions and events. The new Forged Knights on foot will complement the mounted knights, and I'm very sure that many of the models will return for this this faction, and maybe also new models as well going down the line. So the Fiefdoms, of course, comprised of Prince Imrahil of Dol Amroth, Forlong the Fat, Angbor the Fearless, Duinhir, Captain of Dol Amroth, Knights of Dol Amroth, Men-at-Arms of Dol Amroth, Axemen of Losanak, Clansmen of Lamedon, and the Blackroot Vale Archers. So we have seen the dead of Duinhir being removed from the Fiefdoms and given their separate army, and I will do that tomorrow. So the army bonus for this army is for the White City. Special rules are marked with a asterisk, affect all models from this army list, not just the ones listed. So as I will go about explaining, this might be quite powerful and very, very cool. When it comes to their alliances, they are historically allied with Minas Tirith and Rohan. So the forces they primarily combat with at the start of the during the first 2/3 of the Pelennor battles, but they also have a number of convenient allies. Many of them, well, almost all the allies they have, the convenient allies, are allies from the same time period. They are normally not allied with anything from before, so the Hobbit and the Second Age and stuff like that. So we have the Dead of Duinhir, Fangon, the Fellowship, Halls of Thranduil, Lothlorien, Misty Mountains, the Rangers, Rivendell, Shire, White Council, and the Wildmen of Druidan. That's their convenient allies, and the rest are impossible allies. So let's talk about the models themselves, or the stats rather. So we have Prince Imrahil of Dol Amroth. He's gone up by a goblin of points, and he's a man, Gondor, infantry, hero, and hero of legend. Of course, he is, even though he's from the fiefs, Gondor comprised of all the fiefs. Minas Tirith is one part of Gondor. They still have the Gondor keyword, most of them. He's move 6. Did I say he's a hero legend? He is a hero legend, of course he is. Move 6, fight 6, 4+ shoot, 4 strength, 7 defense, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, 6 courage, 3 for might, will, and fate. So he's got the 3s in the right places, as we would say. His wargear is heavy armor, sword, and shield. He's got heroic resolve, heroic strike, strength, and defense as his heroic actions, and he has options for armored horse and a lance. So none of these have changed really. Well, they've added the heroic actions and the hero stats and the keywords, but other than the points value changing, nothing has changed so far. He's got the Lineage of the Numenor, which is an active ability. The range of Prince Imrahil Standfast is 12 inches rather than 6. And Dol Amroth for Gondor, which is a passive ability. Captains of Dol Amroth, Knights of Dol Amroth, Men-at-Arms of Dol Amroth within 12 inches of Prince Imrahil count as being in range of a banner. So that's a huge 12-inch banner, and this special rule is marked with an asterisk, which means if you take a pure army, this doesn't just apply to the models listed, it applies to everything in the army list. or this army list, not the army list in total. Next up we have Forlong the Fat. He's gone up by quite some points, 4 goblins worth of points. His man, Gondor Infantry hero and hero of Valor at that. He's move 6, fight 5, 4+ shoot. So he's gone up by a point in fight. His strength 5, defense 6, 2 attacks, 3 wounds, 4 courage, 3/1/1 for might, will and fate. He has heavy armor, sword, warspear and warhorn. So warspear, he now has the lance ability when he's mounted, and most of the reason I think for the huge points change is the warhorn. I think now the warhorn is now included in his points. It is included in his points cost, but I didn't think, even though the model had a warhorn, it didn't have the rules for it in the previous edition. He's got access to heroic strength, making him strength 6 if he does that, and the option for a horse, because why wouldn't you? It has to be converted though, so yeah, really cool. And his special rule, also with an asterisk, is the Lord of Losanak. Axemen of Losanak within 6 inches of Forlong the Fat must re-roll results of a 1 when rolling to wound during the fight phase. So, asterisk again, applying to everyone within 6. So have these 2 combat monsters with Night Charge, and you have Lance Charges re-rolling 1s, which is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Next up we come to the next character, which is Angbor the Fearless. He's gone up by 2 goblins worth of points. He's man, Gondor Infantry hero and hero of Valor, so can lead 15. Move 6, fight 5, so he's gone up by a point of fight. 4+ shoot, 4 strength, 5 defense, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, 5 courage, 2/3/1 for its might, will and fate. He carries an armor, well, he wears armor and carries a broadsword. The broadsword, for those remembering the HeroQuest commercial back in the day. Broadsword is an active ability. This is a 2-handed sword. Additionally, if a model that is fighting with a broadsword scores a natural roll of 6 in the dual roll, they do not apply the penalty for using a 2-handed weapon. Fantastic. I really think this is a cool way to handle not every single model carrying an additional hand weapon. It really makes it adamant that you are supposed to use the model's weapon as it is, and those who are not carrying hand and half swords or hand and half weapons need something to make them viable, I think, and this is a perfect way to do it, in my opinion. Heroic Strike is an option he has for his heroic actions, and he's fearless. And with an asterisk, he has the passive ability Chief of Lamadon. Clansmen of Lamadon within 6 inches of Angbor the Fearless gain the Fearless special rule. So again, bubbles of special rules if this is a pure army. And lastly, of the named characters, we come to Duinhir. He's gone down by a goblin worth of points. He's man, Gondor Infantry hero and hero of Valor, so he can lead 15 again. And he's move 6, fight 4, so he's gone down a fight, 3+ shoot. Strength 4, defense 5, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, 3 courage, 2/1/1 for its might, will and fate. For war gear, he has armor, sword, bow and spear, with no options for additional war gear. Heroic actions are heroic accuracy and heroic defense, and he's got the Mountain Dweller special rule. He's also got 2 special abilities, which are Go for the Eyes. When shooting, Duinhir can reroll fail to wound rolls. Additionally, when shooting at the monster model, wounds caused by Duinhir shooting attacks cost D3 wounds rather than 1. So this ability has not changed at all. For his passive ability, he has the asterisk Lord of the Blackroot Vale. Blackroot Vale archers within 6 inches of Duinhir that did not move during the move phase may reroll 1s to hit during the shoot phase. So this is interesting because it has the asterisk and it applies to every single model, but there are no other models currently for the fiefdoms that can shoot. And I've been speculating in the past about Hidluin of Pinneth Gelin, and might there be some shooty models from his fief? possibly. If we see that in a book in the future. I hope we will see Hidorin, because he's really cool. So, the captain of Dol Amroth. He's gone up by 2 goblins worth of points, and he's move 6, fight 5. Finally, fight 5, up by 1 point, making him higher fight than the normal warriors. Strength 4, defense 7, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, 4 courage, 2/1/1 for might, will, and fate. That has not changed. Wargear, heavy armor, sword, and shield, and heroic march as his heroic action option. For his wargear options, he has access to armored horse and lance, because why wouldn't you? And he's got the Pride of Dol Amroth special rule, and every single model except the other fiefs rather than Dol Amroth has got this rule. And it is a model with this special rule is within 3 inches of Prince Imrahil of Dol Amroth, adds +1 to their fight value. So this is huge, making the warriors fight 5 and the captains fight 6. Absolutely fantastic. So, Knights of Dol Amroth, they've gone up by half a goblin worth of points. Man, Gondor, Infantry, Warrior. Stats have not changed still. Move 6, fight 4, 4 plus shoot, 3 strength, defense 6, 1 attack, 1 wound, 4 courage. Heavy armor, sword and shield. Has options for Warhorn, Banner, Armored Horse and Lance. Although the Warhorn has gone up by a few points, and that's been done throughout the book. 2 goblins worth of points, because Warhorns were cheaper in Lord of the Rings and more expensive in The Hobbit, and now they've made it similar across the board. They've also got access to armoured horses, and that's gone down by a point. And then you got the option for a lance. So all total, a Knight of Dol Amroth with armoured horse and lance cost exactly 4 goblins with a wargear. Pride of Dol Amroth again, the special rule, +1 to fight within 3 inches of Imrahil. The Men-at-Arms of Gondor has gone up by a point. Same stat line as before. Obviously the same stat line as nearly every single model in this list. It's move 6, fight 4, 4 plus shoot, 3 strength, 5 defense, 1 attack, 1 wound, 3 courage. And then now come with the pike. So heavy armor, sword and pike is the wargear, and they can replace the pike with a banner. And they also have the Pride of Dol Amroth special rule. Within 3 inches, they got +1 fight if within 3 inches of Imrahil. So I think that's quite cool, because obviously the huge thing about Men-at-Arms was that there was no real way to really convert any with swords. It was hard to convert them with sword. It didn't look good, in my opinion. So yeah, better to just have them with the pike, and include that point in the points cost of the model. So we come next to Axemen of Lossarnoch, move 6. Well, they're not changed by points, obviously. Move 6, fight 4, 4 plus shoot, 3 in strength, 5 defense, 1 attack, 1 wound, 3 courage. Heavy armor, Axe of Lossarnoch and dagger. Axe of Lossarnoch, an Axe of Lossarnoch can be either used as a spear or a 2-handed axe, and they can replace their 2-handed axe with a banner. For the Clansmen of Lamedon, you have no change in points value. They're still move 6, fight 4, 4 plus shoot, 3 strength, 4 defense, 1 wound, 1 attack, 5 courage. They carry armor and broadsword, and the broadsword works exactly the same as Angbor. And they have the Honor of Lamedon, which is a passive ability. Clansmen of Lamedon within 6 inches of Angbor the Fearless counts as being in range of a banner. So you've got these bubbles, I think, in the Fiefdom army, and I really think that is really cool. A cool way to handle it. And then you have the Blackroot Vale Archers. No change in points value, they're still rangers. So they have move 6, fight 3, 3 plus shoot. 3 plus shoot, 3 in strength, 5 defense, 1 wound, 3 courage. They carry armor and broadsword, and the broadsword works exactly the same as Angbor the Fearless. So you've got these bubbles, I think, in the Fiefdom army, and I really think that is really cool. A cool way to handle it. And then you have the Blackroot Vale Archers. No change in points value, they're still rangers. So they have move 6, fight 3, 3 plus shoot. yeah, so they were never fight for these rangers. No, I don't think so. Strength 3, defense 4, 1 attack, 1 wound, 2 courage. War gear is armor, sword and bow. They got options for warhorn, banner and spear. And they got the mountain dweller special rule, as well as dead-eye shot. When benefiting from a heroic shoot, this model may reroll fail to wound rolls for making shooting attacks. So previously this was for monsters only, and was an active ability that was always on when they shot, but now it's when they do a heroic shoot, they can reroll fail to wound rolls. I think that is pretty awesome. So that's the Dol Amroth, well, the fiefdoms. And I hope that fiefdoms will be expanded as well in the future with more fiefs coming in. But that's it. I think this army is viable now. It has bubbles that needs to act together. Would be a very hard army to play, I think, but I think it would be great fun. Doing loads of cool shenanigans and doing loads of cool stuff. So tell me in the comments what you think about this army. Do you like it? Do you not like the changes? What do you think would be the most impactful with the changes? Do tell us in the comments. So do comment, like, share and subscribe, and consider supporting us on Patreon using the link in the description below, as it is a fantastic way for you to come support our project here in the studio. It gives us the monetary means to expand, improve and give you more cool videos each and every day of the week. So if that's at all interesting for you, you'll get cool rewards as rewards for your donations, and undying gratitude from us as well. So click that link if that's at all interesting, but more importantly, support your hobby.